What's up, YouTube? Luis here, inside my mom's car to tell you about my shopping experience dealing with Matthews-Currie's Ford out in Nokomis, Florida. And shout out to George Master John for helping me get this car at a relatively decent price and then completely ghosting me once I received it, and let him know a few problems that he didn't care to mention once I received the car. Appreciate that. And as well to Danny Gorleski, upper management. They said he'd give me a call to help me sort these problems out, but then as well, waited by my phone, never received a call. So I'm going to talk about 3 things that I had issues with and how they could have resolved them. Hopefully this will help them alleviate those problems so they don't have them again. The first problem was that, let me back up a little. The car, I am in Austin, Texas. They're out in Florida, so I had to have the car shipped here, and once it came here, I let them know, looked it all over, and then as soon as I got it, there was some obvious problems, and then one that I didn't even know was a problem that I didn't even think of until it happened. So stay tuned, I'll let you know what those are, and hopefully this will help you in case you end up going to them or any other dealership. Long story short, if you're going to be dealing with Matthews-Currie's Ford and you're not around them, if you can't get to them easily, I do not recommend you going to them, because just as easily as they ghosted me, they could do the same to you. I hope not. Maybe if I was there and I could have just told them, hey, these are the problems, and just bugging their ear off or talking their ear off or whatever, they would have probably helped me. But since I'm all the way in Austin, Texas, maybe they just decided to brush me off like I don't know what. But that, I just feel like that was very unprofessional, dealing with other people and helping other people purchase cars. I just felt like that was very unprofessional of them to do. But let's get started with the first problem. The first problem was that the car came with no floor mats. Who sells a minivan with no floor mats? I bought this car for my mom. She knows I do this just for fun, just helping people out, and she let me know, hey, I need a new car, help me out. I did help her out, got her this one. The car came, and as soon as I got it, there were no floor mats. I let George know, hey, there's no floor mats on here. He was super cool about it. Oh, okay, we'll reach out, get you some floor mats. Waited a couple of days, no reply. Tried calling him back, would get his voicemail, left him voice messages. I had to end up calling from my girlfriend's phone. He didn't answer then, but then he returned her call right back. So I was like, hey, what's going on? You ghosted me? He was like, no. I had to keep hollering at him until finally he ended up sending some. Granted, they weren't for the same year and model of the car, but that could have been a distribution issue, so I'm not gonna give him too much slack for that one. But then the second one is really big, because that was something that should have been checked. I wonder if it was checked and then they just decided not to fix it because I wasn't there at the dealership to catch it. But they advised their 110-point inspection. Yet I don't know how this could have been not seen. Once you turn on the car, you turn on the blind spot monitor. When I received the car, the blind spot monitor was not turned on. So I turned it on, and right as I turned it on, there was this big error. Hey, this is messing up. I took it to a Toyota dealership and let them know, hey, what's going on? They didn't take it apart. He plugged in the system and he let me know, hey, this car was in an accident, which he did disclose. George did disclose that it was in an accident and that all repairs had been made, which apparently they did not, because the alarm, the error message came on, and the Toyota dealership guy said, hey, they probably didn't align it right. It wasn't done correctly. They just need to take off the bumper and realign the sensors maybe. But they failed to do that and gave me the car as is, while telling me that all issues from the wreck had been repaired. Yet he did state that the wreck was minor. It might have been just some minor bump, or even a shopping cart hitting these new cars nowadays will make that sensor turn off. So maybe someone just backed into it. It did look like they had taken the bumper off and they did put it back on. There was a little paint discrepancy, but nothing too bad. I ran the Carfax report, looked at everything. None of the airbags went off. And I also saw that in the claim history, like a week from the accident happening, they had it in a shop and had it repaired. So that was good to hear. I was just very disappointed that once I received the car, turned the blind spot monitoring system on, it showed that error right there blatantly. And I let him know, hey, this is what's going on. He once again assured me, hey, I'll take care of this. And to this day, 2 months later, I have not heard back from him. He did say he was going to talk to his person that checks the cars and see what was going on. And then that was the last time I heard from him. That time, I talked to him about the issue about the floor mats and the blind spot monitoring sensor at the same time when I was able to catch him on the call. So that was good. And to this day, I have not heard back from them on that blind spot monitoring system. So I guess I'm going to have to go out of pocket on that one, because so far they just, once they got my money, they just let me go and have not heard back from them. I tried calling them. They haven't returned my calls. They just leave me the voicemail. So it's very unfortunate to hear. And then the third one, the biggest one, this car comes, it's an all-wheel drive, so it comes with run flat tires from the dealership. Even when you look at the side of the car where it shows the tire size, it shows run flat RF for the tire size. And I don't know if they changed them out at the dealership or the car was brought in without run flat tires, but they did change them to regular tires, which is okay. It would have been okay to me, but there's no spare in the car because the car is all-wheel drive. So when you end up putting non-run flat tires on an all-wheel drive car, you're going to have a spare somewhere, or you're going to have to purchase one, which I would have been okay with. They did not disclose that or say, hey, this car does not come with the spare, because then I would have known that and preemptively bought one and purchased one. I have now, but this happened after my mom had the car. She was out and about. Luckily, she wasn't too far from a mechanic shop, but she got in the car. The tire was flat. She did not have a spare. So luckily, right across the street, there was a place that was able to give her a tire. But I was under the assumption that the car came with run flat tires, since that's what is put on the dealership and what is shown on the tag. Yet they just kind of went the cheap route, put the non-run flat tires on there and let the car go on its way without letting me know, hey, it's not run flat tires, they're regular tires, which I totally been okay with if they would have disclosed that information to me, but they did not. And I was under the assumption that, hey, the run flat tires are on there, so we should be good to go. Yet that was not the case. So I was very disappointed in that one. And when that happened, I did text them, reached out to them once again, let them know, hey, run flat tires weren't on the car, yet they're supposed to be on the car. And that was that. I've never heard back, got ghosted once again. So that's my third issue with them. Transparency is the biggest thing to me in a professional sense. I dealing with people all day, your word is bond, and right now they just left a foul taste in my mouth. Matthews-Currie's Ford, I would not recommend them to anyone. By far, they're going to have the lowest price around due to their algorithm and looking at everyone else's car. But if you do not live near them, I do not suggest buying a car from them, because if you have any of the issues that I did and you just tried to call them, they're not going to answer your phone. They're just going to put you to voicemail, and then they're going to go about their day. But if you're able to go in there and let them know, hey, these are the issues that I'm having, or you can go there and buy the car and make sure that they have floor mats and the right tires and no errors are coming on, I'd really suggest that, because as of right now, I don't know how they could put their name behind a car, put a sticker, Matthews-Currie's Ford, on the back of a car and sell a car to someone out of state, knowing that it's for a family, without floor mats, without run flat tires, and not letting them know, hey, we're not going to provide you a spare tire. I had to go out of pocket essentially $300 to buy the rim, the tire for the rim, and then a spare, because they just didn't disclose that information. So that's not cool. And as well as the blind spot monitoring sensor not working, I don't know how that was not seen, or maybe it was seen and they just knew, hey, it's going out of state and we're never going to hear from them again. So I just letting everyone know, Matthews-Currie's Ford, 2 thumbs down. Great on price, service, no. If you don't live by them, don't buy from them at all. You'll probably have a better experience buying from Carvana, Turo, any of those other places. But these guys, or just go to your local dealership. let them help you out, because right now just buying from them sight unseen seemed like a great experience until I got the car and they weren't able to help me. So if y'all found this helpful, please smash that like. Let me know any comments below. If you do want any more information on that, changing from the run flat tires to regular tires and what size spare you need, because you need a spare that's almost identical to the right tire size. Otherwise, it's going to mess up the all-wheel drive system. So if you do want a video on that, I can also provide you a video. I had to check some authorized dealers for the specific rim that you need, as well as the tire. So if you do want to know any information on that, shoot me a message. I'll be more than happy to make a video just on dedicated to switching from all to run flat tires for an all-wheel drive Toyota Sienna to just regular tires. And yeah, that's everything I wanted y'all to hear. I hope if I'm able to help anyone, or if you go to your local dealership and see that, hey, it doesn't have floor mats, they should sell cars with floor mats. Even old used cars, 20 years old, have floor mats. So I'm not sure why they didn't supply that. I guess good thing he ended up sending them to me once I was able to catch him on the phone. But the other two things, the tires and then the big one, the blind spot monitoring system, that's a big no-no to me. You're essentially selling a car that's, you put your name behind, and yet it's not working well. You can clearly see on the screen that it's not working. So I don't know if it was an oversight, if they just said, screw it, we won't have to hear from them. But I just want to let everyone know, hey, if I'm able to help someone, keep them from going to Nokomis, Florida through Matthews-Currie's Ford to get a car, I'm more than happy to do that. If you do have any questions about purchasing cars, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you, or let you maneuver through things, or tell you things that you should be paying for and you should not be paying for. As well as they tried to charge me $1,000 for a reconditioning fee, where they only changed the oil and changed the wipers and maybe changed the tires. That does not cost $1,000, man. You didn't even put the right tires on there. So that too, I was just like, no, it's not gonna fly with Luis. So if you would appreciate this, like it, subscribe. Just trying to put some content out that's helpful for anyone. If you have any other things you want me to talk about, just leave them down below. Really appreciate y'all watching this video, and till the next one, thanks.